Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Tomb of Tyrants. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $8. Now, this game has been out for about 5 years now, and I have covered it before, but I like the occasional Match 3-esque kind of game, Puzzle Quest being an example, and Tomb of Tyrants is similar to Puzzle Quest. It's also similar to Dungeons, or Dungeon Keeper. I know, it's kind of weird. So you've got this match 4, not match 3, but match 4 element to the game where you're matching similar colored blocks by dragging columns and rows around. And when you match them, you earn resources for that color. Now you can turn those resources in, there's 8 different colors, but you can turn those resources in order to build more rooms. That's where the Dungeon Keeper part of it comes into play. You've got this tower, and you've got this head honcho that you need to protect. And these heroes, the good guys, will be coming into your dungeon trying to kill you. So what you need to do is you need to match the colors, you need to earn resources, and then spend those resources on rooms so that you can put more space and more bad guys in between you and the good guys. That way your character doesn't die. Whenever you build a room, that will give you monsters, like 2 imps or 2 of this, 2 of that, 2 goblins. So this game is a little more than meets the eye. I mean, yes, you can play it casually, and everything I just said, if you just take that with you, you should be okay. That being said, there's a little bit more to the game if you want to go the extra mile and try to get the most out of it. For example, there's something called prophecies in this game, and these prophecies, you can typically unlock and activate these prophecies just by playing the game and you not even knowing it. To activate a prophecy, you kind of have to get rooms and other combinations of things in the right order in your dungeon in order to activate the prophecy. And in doing so, that will unlock something else for you to use. Now, sometimes you'll unlock, these prophecies will unlock a different room type. Sometimes they'll unlock harder heroes, so not all of these prophecies are good. There are over 100 prophecies to discover, so sometimes it's trial and error. Like you'll be discovering these real quick, okay, in your early onset. But once you start learning, like once you discover a prophecy, it's in your codex. The ones that remain undiscovered, you have to kind of do a trial and error with, to like different combinations in your dungeons to see, what it could be, those unknown prophecies. There's also these little shapes on the side. I don't remember the names off the top of my head. They're not prophecies, but they're something else. Rituals, that's it. And these rituals usually involve matching the colored blocks in a particular shape. So I might say, I want you to match this in the shape of a T. I want you to form a match in the shape of a T block or an aligned piece or whatever. And in doing that, you increase the, I hate to use the word mana pool for that color, but it's not a mana pool really, but being a Puzzle Quest fan, I typically call the various colored pools mana pools. But anyway, in doing these rituals, by creating matches of a particular shape, you actually increase the color pools for your resources. So there's 2 different things to shoot for. There's the prophecies and the rituals. You can also level up your monsters. Whenever you put a room down, you can actually drag and drop these monsters into different rooms and have different combinations. The monsters that you put, whenever you build a room, you don't have to put those new monsters in that new room. You can mix and match them as you see fit. There are like melee slots and range slots, and different monsters have different effects depending on where they're put. So yeah, I mean, there's different combinations of monsters to place for you to try out. And that's why I said earlier, like, you could play this casually and just try and last as long as you can, not worrying about maximizing the usefulness of these combinations. Or you can really get into the nitty-gritty while you're trying to form matches, try and get the most out of your people, out of your monsters, level them up by, not allowing them to die. The one complaint I do have with this game is that it does throw a lot at you all at once. So, like, the first couple of games, you're going to be like, well, I don't understand. There are these prophecies and then these ritual. Like, there's just too much. I can't do it, or it's just overwhelming. That's to be expected. So that's one complaint I have. Another complaint is that the UI, like, sometimes it's hard for me to read. There's four different like style of UI text. Like there's soft edges, hard edges, pixelated, whatever. But even then, like sometimes, like when you right click on a monster to open up its information, it opens it up in a book, and then it gives you its stats. But the stats, like the text for in that codex book, is very small for me to read. So sometimes the text in this game, it just feels crunched in the UI, and everything just seems cluttered and difficult to organize or understand. So if you're new to the game, again, it doesn't really ease the player into it. This is a game that you have to play for a while, get used to how everything looks, and then if you want to get really good at it by again getting these prophecies and these rituals, I'll figure it out. So, Tomb of Tyrants, for an $8 game, it's not half bad. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Puzzle Quest. It's not an RPG in the sense that you can directly equip items to your different monsters or anything like that. When your guy does die, you start over from scratch again, typically. I do believe you can carry monsters that have leveled with you, or maybe some of them with you, to the next run. But for the most part, it's get as far as you can and get a high score. Anything that you've unlocked will be unlocked in your codex, and then rinse and repeat. Had there been some kind of permanent upgrade tree to where, I was getting stronger and stronger with every new run, then I would probably play this a lot more than what I do now. But as it stands, this is a cool romp for, 5-10 minutes. I die, and then maybe I'll touch it again next week, something like that. And depends on what mood I'm in. But yeah, it's not bad for $8. Either now or on a deep sale, I would check it out. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.